32. Jen, before we start recording, though, I do want to take a second, if we can, to give a shout out to the sidewalks for keeping me off the streets.
You cannot help it. Welcome back to this episode of So Much JENergy. I'm your host, Jenny McKinney, and I'm here with Jeff Jones.
Jen, thanks for having me.
As Jenables calls you, Jefe Jones.
Jefe Jones.
Oh man, Jen Abel, so funny. Gosh. All right, so speaking of Jen Abel's, Jenables, we had a super fun membership game night. So
we did, Jen. That was a lot of fun. That was a good time.
Oh my gosh. So we had members only. We didn't have our jackets on. We had a few of us that popped on. Some members couldn't make it.
5, 6.
Yeah. And we did scavenger hunt, a timed scavenger hunt where people had to run around their houses for points.
Jen, you know what's funny about that is half the stuff I ended up, because I played, half the stuff I ended up finding and coming back with was actually already in this room.
Oh,
I had to go upstairs for some of the stuff because like there was a frozen item. So of course I had to go to the freezer. There was goofy items.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a good time though.
It was super fun.
The oldest was on the other side of the door over here making t-shirts that night too. And I just kept running past him, running back, running past him, running back. He's like, what are you doing? I'm having a scavenger hunt. Let me alone.
Yeah, I'm trying to win. The super funny part about is that we gave no clues to the game because I really wasn't even sure. I was trying to put together something fun that we could do online together that could still, work as a group, but individual. And the funny part I found out is who is dead serious competitive. You know what I mean? Like Jen Abel. So Jen was on one of our episodes before. And she actually does online group training and games. And
we've had her on here for episodes that we've played games in before.
Yeah.
She's
just so funny. And her laugh, my God, cracks me up. So we invited her to this game night as a past guest. And she had spiral steps at her house and a sprained foot. And the funny part is we played 2 games because Jeff Jones did essential oil or cryptids, and it came down between her and Spindy, our mom, and Jen Abels did not quit. She won an Amazon gift card, so she was super jazzed about that.
Jen, for cryptid or essential oils, I had 4 pages of cryptid or essential oils listed, and through the regular game seemed like it went about a decent amount of time. So once we got through about 2 pages, so I'm like, all right, we'll call this the last one.
Yeah.
Well, then Jenna Bowles and mom, Spindy, ended up in a tie. And the tie went longer than the actual game prior to it. The tie went my full other 2 pages of notes. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Just for a tiebreaker.
It was so funny.
They were just nailing them.
Yeah. Or both missing them. Right?
I know. You know what I do want to add to that game when we do cryptid or essential oil is that if you guess it's a cryptid and you get it right, you should get a bonus point for making the noise. If you can make the sound that cryptid makes, like a spelunker, if you can make the sound of a spelunker, whatever noise you think that is,
right,
you get a bonus point. I think we should implement that.
Right. Yeah, next time. So stay tuned. And if you want to participate in our next monthly game night with us live, there are prizes and we do have a good time. It's kind of fun because we get to know each other. We chit chat ahead of time. We just have a great time and get to know each other. It's just one-on-one, really.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah. All right.
You know what? Is there if I talk about something real quick? And I'm really surprised this was not a bigger issue in the news. Did you hear about the space junk hitting the moon?
No.
Did you hear about that?
No.
On last Tuesday. All right. And I came home from work and I walk in the door and Andrea had the news on and she was reading or doing something on the laptop. And I caught like a small glimpse of like a news story. And they're like, oh, 4 ton piece of space junk flying into the moon. And then like they never talked about it again. And so I was doing the dishes or making dinner or whatever in the kitchen. I kept listening in, like, are they going to talk about the space junk? I want to hear about what the hell's going on with that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Right.
Huge. A piece of that size, like it's going to leave a crater. So
Yeah.
Andrew, I'm like, did they ever come say anything back about the space junk? She's like, they kept talking about it, but never really said anything about it. And I'm like, well, that should be a bigger news story than what they're implying.
Yeah.
So she looked it up like on demand news, whatever.
Okay.
ABC or CBS on, you know what I mean, on the Roku.
Yeah.
And so we pulled up, there was like a 4-minute news story we found about it. And apparently it's a booster rocket that came off of a Chinese booster rocket that came off.
Okay.
And it weighs 4 tons, 8 tons? I think it's 8 tons, about the size of 4 cars.
Oh my God.
And it just flew at like 12,800 miles an hour into the moon. It flew into the moon and they gave the time. They're like, it's going to hit tomorrow at 7:36 a.m. It's expected to leave a 70-foot crater in the moon. But like, you would think that's going to kick up some dust. And I had a lot of questions. Like, is it going to throw it off its trajectory? Like, is that going to slow it down or speed it up? That kind of impact. It's got like, there's a number of things that could happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this was not a bigger news story. And I haven't heard anything about it since. And I went out of work at 7:36. I actually went out about 7:38 or 7:28, about 10 minutes early to see if I could even find the moon. Unfortunately, I could not see the moon that day. So you would think something like that, you'd be able to see like a on the moon.
Like a little
spark
or something? Yeah, like a little, yeah.
Like I don't know. But
little,
I don't know. I don't know why that was not a bigger news story.
The little powdered sugar.
Yeah. And then just last night, Andrew was like, oh, how come we never heard anything about the space junk? I go, I don't know. I don't know why like more people weren't talking about any of this.
Any more information.
I don't get it.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But besides that, was picking up the kids at the parents, mom and dad's house. And on the way back, Griff was like, oh, can we do something go somewhere for spring break? And I go, oh, where are you thinking? He's like, Seattle. I go, what? Hold on. Like just for spring break? I go, when is it? He's like, end of the month. I go, so you just want to just go to Seattle at the end of the month. Like we're just going there. And I go, let's talk to mom, see if maybe she wants to go camping. And he's like, what? I go, I don't know. I was just trying to say something at the other end of the spectrum from Seattle. And he's like, camping? He's like, all right, Dad. He's like, I want to be honest with you. So I got about a 15 to 20-minute conversation with both kids. All of a sudden, one chiming in from the back seat, the one over here in shotgun, and all of a sudden just wham, wham, wham about camping. We've always gone camping.
Yeah.
And Griff's like, that's the whitest thing that anybody could ever do. He's like, who's going to pay someone to let them stay there homeless? He's like, to be temporarily homeless, but you can still have the comfort of knowing that like at any point you can get back in your car and drive to your shower or your cabinet of food.
Right.
He's like, so you're just paying someone to kind of be a little homeless. He's like, plus you're dealing with mosquito bites, dead cell phone battery. He's like, and then
cold.
Yeah. And then the youngest in the back seat's like, remember Campsite Girl, which was this crazy girl. We went camping once. And there was this girl who she was about Griff's age. I think he was maybe 13 at the time, 14. Yeah. And this girl kept circling like the camp area that we were by and like eyeballing Griff. I go, Griff, I think that girl's eyeballing. And he's like, yeah, she keeps looking over here. He's like, I'm going to go say something to her. So he went and talked to her and we refer to her as Campsite Girl now. No, I'm not sure of her name, but so she had shown Griff, him and her walked around the campgrounds for like a day.
Yeah.
Hung out, teenage things, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she at one point was like, oh, she's into drawings. He was into music. So he was, he played her a bunch of the music he's made and she was showing him his drawings and her drawings were out there. Whoa. It was like, he's like, it started out okay as like Five Nights at Freddy's type drawings, like things of like images of nightmares. And then there was like people with their heads cut off and like people just, he said to Dad, he's like, Dad, it got real demented. Well, then they come back and he came back to the campsite and I was like, oh, are you done hanging out with her? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, here she comes. And he walked off to the restroom and she come by and I didn't know anything about it. So she was like, oh, it's Griffin around. And I go, yeah, he just went over to the bathroom over there. So she went over there and waited outside the bathroom for him. And he came out and like it's like a community like campground bathroom, and he came out and she was like, oh, you want to go for a walk? And he's like, oh, I don't know, my dad's like expecting me back over there. And he's like, so she took his hand and they started walking through the woods. He's like, Dad, there was no trail, it just was into the woods. He's like, and
Whoa.
I just kept getting flashes of like these pictures that she had drawn and shown me. He's like, and I thought, nobody knows I'm out here in the dark woods. He's like, we didn't have our phones out, there was no light. He's like, and she was just leading me through the woods by hand. He's like, and I just kept, every time a stick hit me, he's like, I kept getting flashes of all the pictures
Yeah,
that she had
right.
shown me. He's like, and I finally stopped and said, nope. He's like, and I turned around and walked all the way back to like where he could see a light coming from the campground through there. And he got there and she came behind and was like, what are you doing? We're going to go for a walk in the woods. And he's like, no, I'm going back to my campsite. And he came back and that's when he was like, Dad, did you tell her I was over? I go, yeah. And he's like, look at Dad. And he started telling me about the pictures. And then now she was just taking him through the dark woods and blah, blah, blah.
Oh
And
my
we've referenced
gosh.
Campsite Girl a handful of times since then. So of course,
Campsite Girl.
so when I bring up camping, all of a sudden M, the one in the back, brings up Campsite Girl, and then they go down that whole road of that crazy girl, But from a dad's perspective, she just was like adorable little girl, like
Right.
for him, his age, good for him. But like, no, I guess not. I guess she wasn't all there. I don't know.
No. Well,
So
I mean,
I
you
got,
never know too till you're talking to somebody, and I mean,
yeah,
she's showing you her most vulnerable stuff too. Like,
right,
whoa.
that, yeah. But no, but speaking of being in the car with the kids the other day, I go pick the kids. I run home, snag them, pick them up, take them to guitar, and they get in. And I had on Dean Martin. I like Dean Martin, Rat Pack.
Yeah.
And so they get in, and M's like, Dad, are we listening to Christmas music? I go, what? And Griff's like, Em, this is not, what is it called? Non-Christmas Christmas music. I go, it's not non-Christmas. He's like, listen to it, Dad. He's like, they're not singing about Christmas, but it's Christmas music, but they're just not singing about Christmas. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, non-Christmas. I had on like Dean Martin. I think there was some like Johnny Mathis,
Yeah.
Sinatra, which Griff likes Sinatra. He understands like
Yeah.
Sinatra, but he won't really expand out from Sinatra. But he gets it. But like he calls it non-Christmas Christmas. Oh, it was cracking me up. And now when I hear Dean Martin, you could hear it's like it is like Christmas music, but it's not Christmas themed.
Yeah.
But no, that was cracking me up.
Non-Christmas.
It's always
Christmas
something
music.
with them guys.
Yeah.
Always something.
Always
speaking
something.
of the kids, we were at Griff's birthday party at the roller rink.
Ooh.
I know I didn't talk about, I don't think we talked about this on here last
No,
time. Oh, wait, the
it's-
news episode. No.
Speaking of jacked up pictures.
Yeah. So we go to Griff's birthday party at the roller rink, do some roller skating. We get there and Mom had a roller skate ticket in her hand. I go, are you roller skating? And she's like, no, your dad's gonna. I go, oh, is he? And she's like, yeah. I go, are you skating, Dad? He's like, yep, thinking about it. Ma told me I should. Or Ma said I could.
Yeah.
I go, you can? He's like, are you? I said, no. I said, but I will if you do. And he's like, yeah, I am. So he went and got skates. I went and got skates. We go out. I've skated. I skate probably twice a year still, enough to keep into it,
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. Dad hadn't gone in 15 years.
And P.S. He's just about to be 70 next month.
Yeah, he's turned 70 next month.
Yeah.
He gets on the skates and I'm going around the thing, and I kind of catch it out the corner of my eye. As soon as he gets on the wood, he falls, gets himself up off the wall. He slowly stabled himself. He made it around handful, half dozen times, maybe 6 times.
Yeah.
And I just hopped off the edge of the rink over by our table where we were hanging. And I hop off and turn around and I see Dad go down and I'm like, what's he doing? And he was struggling to get up out there. He was struggling to get up out there. So Mom's like, well, go out there and give him a hand. I'm like, yep. So I skate out there and I go up to him and he could see it in his face. He was extremely calm, but a little panicky, but calm, And he's like, he goes, I broke my ankle. He's like, I can't get up. I go, what? And I'm thinking like, you're on skates. Yeah, you may have twisted it, but you're,
right.
And I go, well, I go, which one is it? I go, is it this one? And I pat one leg. He's like, no, the other one. I go, well, then put that one. He was trying to get up on the busted one.
Oh.
I go, you need to put your good skate down and push yourself up. I say, because I'm on skates. I can't. And he's like, he goes to do it and his ankle slips out from under him. And he's like, I just heard it pop again. I go, I heard that. He's like, you got to drag me off here. I go, Dad, I am on roller skates. I cannot drag you all the way across this roller rink.
Yeah.
All the way off. And the whole time, nobody is coming over to help. Nobody that works there, nothing.
Yeah.
And clearly by now, this has been like 4 minutes has probably gone by.
Oh God. Yeah.
So just as he went down and he was trying to talk me into dragging him off, and I'm actually thinking like, should I drag you off? I go, but I'm on roller skates. I'm not going to get much momentum. All of a sudden, Brandon and Andrea show up they're on shoes and they come out and they help me get him up. And we try to get him off and got him off the rink. And I take his skate off and Jen, his ankle was gross. It was broken.
It was broken off though.
Well, at that point, yeah, it broke twice right there. So
Yeah.
then we get his skates off, put his shoe on his good foot, and we were trying to think about. I told Ma, go get your car, bring it around. We were trying to think about how to get him out of there, and all of a sudden, your sister's boyfriend, who we had met a handful of times, Oris,
Is he
all
a
of a
big
sudden,
dude?
he's bigger than me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not,
Yeah, but I would think like,
I'm
is
on
he
the smaller
Brandon's
side of
size?
people. He's about Brandon's height, but like more fit. He's a landscaper, so he's
Okay.
fit. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Oh,
And
gotcha.
all of a sudden, he's like, I got him. And he just bends down and picks dad up like a little baby in his arms. And he just picks him up and walked him right out of there. As soon as he got
Miss
outside,
said
Ma
dad's
pulled up,
ankle was just
is
hanging there.
hanging.
Oh.
Yeah. And they went there and they took x-rays and it was broken and it had a small bone still barely intact, but they weren't sure if he needed surgery. So then they put a splint on and sent him home. And when he was at home, he was trying to get up out of his chair downstairs with his crutches and he fell and broke it a third time. And that was all that was really holding on to it before.
Yeah.
And they ended up laying in the basement for about 2 hours till Mom got home from work
Ugh.
to help him get up, get back over to the chair.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, when he went back to the doctors, they ended up having surgery, put a couple plates, 2 plates, and I think like 9 or 14 screws holding it all together.
If I saw the pictures and it looks like there's almost like 2 nails in his heel. It's so
They
weird. It's just
they said when he fell in the basement, it tore all the ligaments and everything. So now he's got all this stitches.
God
and
dang it.
It is tore up.
I mean,
Tore up. It's gross. It's gross.
Yeah. So if you ordered cornhole, it's gonna be a minute.
It'll be so they're telling him probably about 4 to 6 months, but he's got to get a cast replaced every week and a half or 2 weeks because of the stitches. They don't want an infection going on in there that they're not aware of.
Yeah.
So they replace the cast every like 10 days or every 10 days or something.
Yeah.
So
crazy. Get it together, so Ronnie.
He's dealing with that.
Yeah, the thing is too, like, he thinks in his mind, because him and Mom met at a roller rink literally when they were teenagers, like, you're gonna be 70, sir. Get it together.
Well, he even said, he's like, well, I thought, I haven't roller skated in 15 years, but I thought I'd at least be able to get back on them and keep going, like, at least pick it up after a while.
That's like pure ankle strength.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like your ankle, that was the number one, especially in roller derby. If there were older ladies, that was the one thing is like, even when I go skating now, I still tape my ankles to help with make it stronger because I don't mess around with that.
Yeah, I usually just cut the fingers out of my gloves.
What?
Fingerless gloves.
You stupid.
Hell yeah.
Jazz hands.
So no, but he called me the other day and he's like, about Jeff and Iran. And he's at the roller rink, thank heavens, prior to it just happening, before he even got his skates on.
Yeah.
He handed me a whole stack of notes on research he had done on one of the topics for our next Jeff and Iran.
God.
And he was, so he called me after his the hospital and stuff when he got home finally. And he's like, hey, you still got all them notes? I go, yeah. He's like, all right. He's like, well, I'm going to try to think of someone to replace me for the Jeff and Iran in the meantime. And just, you can give them all my notes. He's like, I'll keep just writing all the notes and giving them to someone. Cause he's like, I'm not going to make it down all the stairs to your recording studio. I go, Dad, I could pack all that up in a backpack. Right. I said, and bring it over here and you can do it right from your chair.
Yeah.
I go, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, that'd be great. He's like, oh, that's even better. He's like, cause I didn't want somebody else to have to do it. He's like, I wanted to do it. And he's like, but there's no way I could get to your basement.
He thought you're replacing him.
I said, no one's replacing you. I'll just bring it all over here. We'll do it right from here. As just as easy as doing it in my basement as doing it in yours.
Yeah. He doesn't know technology.
How hard is it to move
Ron
a couple
and technology do not go together.
Switchboard.
Yeah.
Right.
This
Goofy.
guy.
I know. So no, needless to say, he'll still be there for Jeff and Iran. And I'm super psyched about our 3rd episode coming up because it's dynamite.
Man. Okay, good.
It's the topics, the history, mystery, and movies. Are phenomenal.
Right. That's funny. Well, let's take a quick little break. We're going to talk about Booby Rock of the week. And this week's Booby Rock, small pause here. I want you to know, like, so I've been spring cleaning this week and because we got new carpet and then we're doing I cleaned all the baseboards and then I thought, let me cleanse all my rocks, right? Jeffy,
Yep.
I'm not joking. We probably have 600 rocks.
600 rocks. You know what you should do is make them into a countertop or a tabletop. Like take a piece of
Yeah.
wood and lay them on there. And then you can buy that epoxy that you pour into it and it
Oh.
fills them all in. Almost looks like it's sitting in like a
Whoa.
molasses.
Well, Josh talked about making like a table that you can put all the rocks in and then put the light up under it
Oh,
so
I
they'll
was gonna
all
say a
light up.
glass bottom table where the
Yeah.
light, where it's like the rocks are sandwiched between glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want
Especially
to
if
do
you were to
that.
fill in between the rocks with sand, so the light came through the rocks,
Ooh. Yeah.
and the
Okay.
sand
Ooh, I
would
just got chills.
be
That's
like would dense the light. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's do it. Okay. So this week's Booby Rock is Hematite. Okay. So
Hematite.
in my spring cleaning, I found another Booby Rock book that I have that I didn't even know. Yeah.
Perfect.
Hematite. So hematite, as a power stone, hematite is good for mental. I'm saying mental dexterity, for simplifying and solving complex problems, for improving technical skills. And if you need to improve or understand a personal relationship, carry a piece of hematite. I know this week, I don't know how do you feel this past week? Did you feel like there was intense energy? Like, I mean, just like, did you feel like a lot of people were either crying or mad or
Yeah,
like
I could see that. It
emotional?
felt heavy, but I've
Yeah.
also felt I've been sick the past week, so I've
Yeah.
been physically just dealing with like runny nose.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not even
Yeah.
hasn't even been congestion. It's just been full on body ache. I had full
Yeah.
body aches and a runny
Okay.
nose. So
Dang.
I was like, I was gonna get the flu, but it stopped at like severe cold.
Okay.
But
But how about
pneumonia's going
everybody else
around a
out
lot
around
here.
you, like at work and stuff?
Yeah, I would say it's high energy
Yeah, I would say high
or
energy,
heavy.
challenging, a lot of anger, upset. Whew. Okay, so hematite, a few more things. It helps to dissolve negative energy and works as a shield of armor for any person or thing. So I
All right.
wear a lot of hematite. It can be worn to focus energy patterns and emotions for better balance among the mental, physical, and spiritual realm. Hematite is good for increasing intuition. I don't know if you want that. Some people may not be interested in that. It has special electric and magnetic qualities, enhancing your ability to receive channeled information.
All right.
So, whew, all right. It
A lot
helps with
going on.
calmness and peace and allowing you to get more centered and able to have realistic expectations, which is super helpful because I think right now, with everything going on in the world, it's
I think
realistic
that is true
expectations.
though. Like realistic expectations. Keep them
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah. Like, get real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is just a great stone. It's black, so it repels energy or negative energy. So any black stone will repel negative energy.
Nice.
And you can keep it on your desk to help refresh your aura and counter the ill effects of electromagnetic conditions from your computer. So if you're on the computer all day, it's a good one to have on you. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Nice.
So hematite.
Hematite.
Yeah. All right, Jeffy, want to take a little sponsor break?
We can.
All right. This sponsor does not need a shout out, but she does need to know if anyone has any information on CBD spray for autistic behavioral problems.
Right.
Yes. So we've gotten some feedback from people, and we've looked into those things and passed some information along. We're also trying to figure out how we can maybe get that to her. She found a place in Colorado, and we're trying to figure out how we can get that over there. So she is looking.
Help her out.
All right.
Help
and
her
then
out. Shout out.
help her out. Shout out. Sponsor. You got a Fog Dog shout out?
Fog dog. Speaking of
About
fog dog, yep, I know there's a fog dog. Speaking of him though, he just went to one of his stores in Royal Oak or Ferndale, one of them. I'm not sure which one it was at, but he went there. All of his shirts were gone. People came in and bought them all. He was psyched. Luckily, he had 5 with him. I think he had 8 with him. He left 5 there, and then he put 3 at another place.
Okay, sweet.
Put 5 more there. Yeah, he was psyched. He's like, oh man, he's like, that's good. He's like, it's great just knowing that there's like random people out there walking around with my shirts on. He's
Yeah,
like, I
right.
might see him. You never know.
I wore his shirt last week.
Yeah, he was psyched.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good for him.
Super cool.
Super cool.
Shout out for this planet. PLANIT. This planet, shout out.
This planet. Shout out.
All right, Jeffy, speaking of shout outs, we have some emails. So,
Email. Shout out.
So we have some viewer, member, interested party emails.
Oh, hang on, I'm knocking my mic all over the place.
Oh, Mike, getting slapped around, Mike.
Slappy Mike. What do you have? Emails? Are you have emails?
Yeah, we got some emails.
Did you send them to me?
I forwarded some to you. Looks like we have about 8. So 4 for you and 4 for me.
I do have 4 sitting here, Jen.
Yes.
They all look like they are. The subjects and all of them look like they pertain to me. Interesting.
All right. Oh, and good times on the news podcast last week. God dang, that was
that was
funny.
fun.
Oh,
that was fun, Jen. I think we should do more of those more often, especially because there's so many goofy news stories we send back and forth to each other.
Yes.
That from now on, if you send them to me, I'm gonna just send them to a folder in my email, and I'm gonna send some there so that we'll just. I think we should do a news episodes more often. Those are fun. It's just the goofiest, and then all the news is real. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, email number 1.
You want to start or I start?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Here, I'll start.
Okay.
All right. The subject line of this one's coffee talk. All right. It says, good day, Jen. It says, I love the show. I've never written to a podcast that I listened to before, but I had to write to you today. I was driving in my car and heard Jeff Jones talk about washing his hair with coffee. He may be the only person who loves coffee more than me. I've thought about taking a coffee bath, and I love drinking coffee while in my tub, but drinking coffee in the shower? Question mark. Can you say time saver? keep being you guys and doing what you do. Lots of love. Coffeeholic. Coffeeholic. Nice. That was subject line coffee talk.
Coffee talk. All right.
Yep. You got one?
Yeah. This one called New Balance. Hey, Jen, saw that you high kick often in one of your videos. So this would be my Facebook video or on YouTube. You had on New Balance. Do you have a Corvette and jorts to go with those? Love the show. Coffee and jorts. You shut your dirty mouth. New Balance have a wide shoe and very supportive. I recommend it. I don't have the Velcro ones.
Dad was the first person I've ever even known, and we were like maybe teenagers, to wear New Balance. And the reason he wore them is because he has wide feet and he liked that they made wide shoes.
Yeah.
I've always associated New Balance with wide feet.
I do have wide feet. And there was a place, the running store in Flint. They actually had a guy that worked there that would lay on the floor and he would look at how you walked. And then he's the one that recommended that shoe for me. And I have never strayed away from that shoe. They stopped making the one that he recommended, like, because they keep, implementing new ones.
Right.
But I keep going with the next number that they make because it's amazing.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
Leveling up
with the New Balance.
All right, Jen, this one says its subject is hey.
That's it. Just hey.
Let's see where this goes.
Okay.
It says, hello. I first have to say you guys got me through quarantine. I did not think that's where this was going. Hang on. I first have to say you guys got me through quarantine. I had time to listen to your past episodes and love the lessons that Jen shares. It's always something different and interesting. And Jeff, love the games and stories you prepare. Have a good year, Kylie.
All right. Kylie, shout out.
Kylie, shout out.
stupid. Okay. Hey, this one's called Siblings.
Oh,
all right.
I have some.
Yes. Hey, I love listening to you guys banter back and forth, and the subtle insults remind me of growing up with my siblings. You guys crack me up. I love it. I have a brother, Tim, who bears the brunt of most of our family jokes because he came home late once and my dad threw his part of the pizza out. Tim chose to pull out the pizza. Wait, Tim. Hang on. Tim chose to pull the pizza out of the garbage and still eat it. Gross, Tim. My dad has never let him live that down. Tim is now 48 and still stands by his decision. Sibling love. Lynn. That's Tim and Lynn.
That is funny because we have jokes that from when we were kids that still to this day. You know what I was thinking? Maw Paul. Or Seisika.
Milky the Clown.
Milky the Clown. There's a lot. Like, I think we have a lot of just jokes, and those jokes are probably from literally younger than 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh my God. Stupid.
Oh,
too much. All right,
I have one here, Jen. This one's subject line, marble racing.
Oh.
I like where this is going.
All right.
It says, hey, Jen and Jeff, new listener here. Just listened to the episode on commercials and games after my friend played some of it for me and showed me where to find more of your episodes. I went back to the beginning of this year and am catching up. I do have a question. Jeff mentioned marble racing. What was the name of the marble races he watches? My husband watches some and they're ridiculous. Keep it up, Carrie. P.S. I love the Jan Brady game. It's always about Marsha. Marsha. The marble racing, Jen, which is phenomenal. And it's Jelly's Marble Run, JELLES Marble Run. Jelly's Marble Run on YouTube. God, it's too much. It is great. It's too much. I don't even, if I get talking about it, I'm just start talking about it. But I love marble racing.
Dang.
Gotta
Good
be passionate about something. Marsha. Remember Jan or Jim? I think we played.
Jan or Jim. GYM. Yes. All right. This one here, meditation for men. Jeff Jones, love the meditation for men. I was wondering if you had an essential oil for men, what would it smell like and what would you call it? Essentially cryptid?
Probably Jim Sock. I wasn't expected to even say that. I don't know. If I had an essential oil, oh man.
Keep that laugh in there, I swear to God.
I'm gonna say wet sandpaper.
You're
so dumb. I wish I had a serious answer, but I don't.
It should be called You're in Luck.
Oh my God.
That's what it should be. You're in luck.
You're in luck. Exactly.
It goes as
for men.
Subliminal bedwetting from your sister.
Oh my God.
Oh, shoot.
I gotta get something to drink. Hold on, that's too much.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that.
Okay. That person didn't even sign it. It's not even signed.
They didn't even finish. I thought maybe I cut you off.
No, that was.
Oh gosh, that's too much.
Oh my God, blast. That was whoever wrote that in. Great question.
Bless their heart. I love the listeners.
All right, Jeffy, when you get it together.
All right, Jen, the last one I have here is the subject is JENergy, Jeff and Ron.
Okay.
All right, it says, hey Jen. I like that. I guess a few did say Jeff and Jen. I like that they said, oh, hey Jen. I guess so, because you get the emails anyways. It's probably better that way. All right. Says, hey Jen, love the show. Keep kicking for the stars. Just listen to the first episode of Jeff and Iran. My God,
My God. Is
My
it G-O-D or
God.
G-A-W-D?
It's G-O-D exclamation point. Oh, hey God, just listen to the first episode of Jeff and Arad. My God. Thanksgiving must be a hoot with family like yours. A hoot.
A hoot.
Thanksgiving must be a
Who wrote
hoot.
this? Avis Davis?
Hey God, hey God. Thanksgiving must be a hoot with family like yours. My husband and I signed up for their membership, but my husband Gary has a suggestion for Jeff and Iran mystery. Oh,
Okay.
excellent. His suggestion is the Phoenix Lights.
Let's never heard of that.
The Phoenix Lights. Hang on, see. I don't want to ruin anything. See what they say.
Okay.
The Phoenix Lights were a series of UFOs sighted in the skies over Arizona and Nevada in March of '97.
Oh.
We lived in Arizona at the time, and my brother actually seen them. Keep laughing, Bobby and Gary. We talked about. Remember Bobby and Gary, the members? They didn't show up for Zoom game night, but
no. But
remember
give
Bobby,
him a shout out. Give him another one.
Bobby Gary. Remember, she was a down-home girl.
Oh, yeah.
Gary, man of the city, high exec, CEO material. I don't even know if that's Bobby and Gary. The Phoenix Lights, though, I'm vaguely familiar. I do know it was a series of lights. I thought it was lights that were seen more than once.
Oh, okay.
But according to this, they say March '97. I will make that suggestion note though for Jeff and Ron. Thanks for the suggestion,
Bobby and Gary.
And anybody else has any suggestions for Jeff and Iran, history, mystery, or movies?
Yeah.
Please write to fieldofjenergy@gmail.com.
Right. All right, Jeffy, one more.
Let's hear it, Jen.
This one says, Raw Dog 26, WTF.
Raw Dog. Oh, Raw Dog 26. What the heck?
Oh my God.
That's all it said? Did they sign it?
No, it just says,
nothing?
Raw Dog 26, WTF. So if you don't know what happened, in one of the episodes we played, my customer service called where I accidentally asked the customer if his email was Raw Dog 26. And it was not.
It was not. It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. Oh, but every time that literally happened like 3 years ago, and every time that guy calls, the minute I see his name pop up, I start laughing. The minute I answer, I don't even say anything, and so does he. And then it turns into a 30-minute laugh fest for little Aaron buddy. Oh my God. Aaron, good times with that guy. Shoot. Whew. Oh man. That's my favorite, Jeffy, making you laugh that hard. I didn't. The email did. The question. Oh man. All right. Jeffy, you got pep in your step this week?
Jen, you know I do.
Always.
Jen, the other day, I don't like to make my pep in a step like something I've watched. I don't know why. I feel like that's lame.
Really? Mine is.
I always feel like anytime when I think like, oh, pep in the step for the episode, and the first thing I usually write, the first thing comes to my mind.
Yeah.
And if it's something I've watched, I usually like, oh, what? But I got on the other day, I sat down, kick on Netflix. I had an hour extra before I had to go to bed. I felt like crap. So I sat in bed and I'm like, I ain't going to go to bed for another hour, but let's just see what happens. If I fall asleep, which I was hoping, but I turn it on and I see that there is the final season of a show I love, The Last Kingdom.
Okay.
And I knew that the final season was coming out like early spring this year.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like Peaky Blinders. They're doing one more season and then they're going to do a movie afterwards.
Okay.
But I guess the movie for The Last Kingdom is a standalone movie. It does not have anything to do with the actual series. It's like a parallel storyline going on. So I'm curious to see how that pans out. But I did not expect to see that The Last Kingdom final season was on there.
Yeah.
And so now luckily I've been under the weather. So I've been laying in bed trying to watch it.
Yeah.
It is so good.
So
God,
good.
that is such a good show. If you like Vikings or like Knights, like Scotland, Ireland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Josh watched it and so did Shannon and G-Dub. They were all saying it. Yeah.
God, it is so good. And I just randomly started it like a year ago, maybe a few months shy of a year ago.
Yeah.
Kicked it on because it looked like something I would watch.
Mhm.
And by gosh, it's one of those right off the get. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sucked in. This is so damn good.
Yeah.
So the other day I was over at Dad's and he's like, oh, you've been watching anything good? Da, da, da. And I go, you ever watch The Last Kingdom? And he's like, no. I go, do you like Vikings? And he's like, yeah, with Ragnar Lothbrok. I go, yeah. I said, it's like that. I said, but it's different.
Yeah.
I said, but it has to do with, the Vikings
Right.
showing up. And I go, but if you like Vikings, you'll love this. And so hopefully, I know when I left there, him and I we watched the first episode when I was there.
Okay.
And then I left. Hopefully he kept watching it. I'm not sure. I should call him and touch base with him.
Yeah. Touch base.
But Last Kingdom, final season. And then there's going to be a standalone movie. And then also keep an eye out for the last season of Peaky Blinders. And if you're not familiar with Peaky Blinders, now is the time to start watching it from the beginning. Because I bet by the time you finish it, the new season will be out and you will be psyched.
Okay. Awesome.
So, and there's also a movie coming out with the main character, Thomas Shelby. I don't know the actor's name. I can't think it off the top of my head.
Okay.
But the gentleman that plays Thomas Shelby, the main guy in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
There's a movie coming out called Osforth. Hang on. I'm editing this.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to ruin this. Oh, man. Hang on, I just got to see the actor's name and I'll remember them. Oh, Cillian Murphy. Hang on. It's for some reason it auto-filled his height. Oh yeah, coming out. There's a new movie coming out with him, the main actor. It's called Oppenheimer.
Okay.
It's a Christopher Nolan movie. I think he's done a few of I think he did some of the Batmans.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe the Batman Begins, the Dark Knight. I think those ones maybe.
Okay.
And yeah, it's about the guy who came up with the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
That guy, Oppenheimer.
Whoa.
And I believe he's playing the main character in that. So I'm psyched about that. So how about yourself? You got any good pep and step?
Yeah, it's funny because we have family coming in to visit this week. Super excited about that. But I wanted to share because there's same thing. I didn't want it to be pep in the step about a movie or a show, but I actually have one of each. So we watched The Adam Project.
All right.
Did you see any commercials for that?
No.
So it's got Ryan Reynolds and it's about time travel. So good.
Is it ATOM or ADAM?
ADAM.
Okay.
So the kid's name is Adam, and it's about his dad who it's about time travel and stuff. So,
no. Yeah,
so
I'll definitely check that out.
Good. The kid in it is so sassy. Like, I mean, I laughed so many times out loud that it was so great. And then we found a show on Netflix. It's a one season. It's a series called Making Fun.
All right.
And the premise is it's 5 guys. The main guy used to be a toy inventor a long time ago, and now he's got a garage and he works with 4 or 5 of his buddies. One of them's called Canadian Pat, and he's on the lathe, and that guy is so funny. But the premise is he doesn't like kids, and so kids come in on his video and they pitch him ideas. Like one is like a taco shoot or a dinosaur shooting out tacos of its mouth. And so he builds it, you know what I mean? So but it's massive, and then just him and these guys, and then they go all out, and they're it's so funny because he doesn't like kids, and he's
right.
some of the ideas he's that's dumb, get out of here, and then he's
swipes them away. No, that's called Making Fun.
Making Fun, yeah.
I'll have to check that out. And
yes.
The Adam Project.
And the Adam Project, it's a movie,
right.
And then Making Fun is a series, and it is so funny. I called Dad and told him to make sure to put both of those on his list. He actually wrote it down.
Good deal.
Yeah.
You got to get him to write it down, or you got to be over there and make sure he punches it in.
Yeah.
Because then if you don't, he'll just call you randomly. He'll call you 3 weeks later and be like, "Hey, what was that show you were at? You mentioned."
Yeah.
When did I mention? Well, you mentioned it before, and it was something you said I should start watching, and I thought I should too.
Yeah.
How long ago? a few weeks ago. That could be anything.
Right. I don't even know where it was 10
Anything.
minutes ago. What's happening? I don't know what I said.
Who are you? How'd you get this phone number?
You know, when
Does
I
mom know
call
you're
him,
on the phone?
he won't even say hello. He just waits for me because I just start laughing, knowing that he's just sitting there. So like, it takes me a few minutes to quit laughing, and then he's like, what do you want? I'm trying to do this, or like.
He's too much.
Too much with that guy.
Me.
Yeah.
Nice,
All right,
Jen.
Jeffy. Well, good times, and yeah, have a great week, and keep that bad juju off you.
I hear you there, Jen.
Yeah.
Remember, someone can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. Have your cats spayed or neutered.
If you crap your pants, change them. Thanks. Bye.